Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick System Brothers. Nathan Masters here. Today I want to cover a small parts haul from the Bricks and Minifigs in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, I was down there over my birthday weekend, and as part of the Green Grocer project, I've been looking for some specific parts, and of course when I go picking at these stores, there are other things I like to keep an eye out for. So try to get through this and just do some general coverage. There's also a couple of the window and structure pieces is what I like to call them, but this Bricks and Minifigs had a separate tower with a little bit of this stuff sorted out. So a few of these I felt like were priced fairly and grabbed those, cover those specifically, and then just take a general look. The smallest, I think this is the smallest that you can get by bulk, and it is a little cup here at the $8 price point. So 2 of these in this bag, and I actually like these cups because the lid goes up above the top of the cup, so you can get this pretty full and maybe even pack in a little bit more than you would with some of the other container styles that are out there, because those lids actually go down into the volume, but these cups, they have a little bit extra room at the top, so you can grab a couple more pieces. Before I jump into the specific parts, I did get some footage in the store, so let's check that out.
I did not touch.
Adam told me to. So
I don't touch Ninjago.
well,
I know better.
Well,
I'm
I did
just
too, but
bad at
Adam
saying
told me
touching
to.
Ninjago.
Adam specifically said wash these Ninjago.
I would never want to touch the Ninjago, but just because I can't, it makes you miss Ninjago.
No.
It's right there.
The whole cabinet or any of the sets. She will murder you.
Well,
Grace would never. She loves
Yo.
me.
I feel like I'm a
I
bit.
know better. Certain rules here that don't get
They're on the
broken.
15th.
I
No,
know, that was
16th.
one.
16th season.
And that was one of the rules.
Nicest Ninjago cabinet is #1.
I have the pilot on DVD from when I was 5.
What's the pilot?
It's the skeletons.
Is that like
With
email?
Samukai?
Is that like email?
A pilot to a TV series.
A pilot's an airplane flight.
Bless your heart.
No, always say that. Oh, I hope.
It's
That too.
That's what she said. She likes to.
Oh yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
You know
Yeah, that's
who they
what we're
speak
talking
of.
Yeah, she came in
Well, yeah,
earlier.
she
Wait,
got,
what's your...
No.
that's my excuse for it. Oh look, I
We
think I'm gonna
can't-
step outside and be terrible things in my life. So I'm
Right.
missing your phone.
Right. So yeah, I was gonna tell Grace last week, and because it says $20 and she's selling the paper for 25, and I think she was looking at the wrong vulture, the home turning one, but I was too scared to tell her.
It's the figures actually only go $6.
It's $6 alone, probably.
See, you say that, and watch that thing sell tomorrow.
The total part count here is about 370 pieces. I'll pick out the special ones first here. A couple of old style decorated windows. These would be from one of the service stations, probably 1980s, with the 4 wide vehicles, and yeah, just kind of cool little decorations on the windows. Maybe not perfectly straight, windows are pretty scratched up, but if I put these in like an older style build, it could kind of lend to the rundown look. I have that going there. Then there were 2 of these windows with an insert that I was interested in. One of them has this golden arch pattern on there. I think it's a print, but if it is a sticker, it's pretty well applied and shouldn't come off in the wash. The other one is the newspaper kind of papered over window, dark gray printing, with a couple of rips in there, so a nice detail that's good for some variety, not just having open windows. Also a dark red 3x4 crate. Did a investigation of this part in the HuTap playlist, so those statistics have probably changed a little bit, but dark red, kind of a more exclusive color. And then finally the old tan window with the shutter tabs, and also it has the 3x4 glass insert that connects at the center of each side. So those were the specific ones that I did pull out from the side area where they were actually marked up individually. I think these are 50 cents a piece from that spot. And they also did that for animals, different price points, but wasn't necessarily as interested in those. And the rest of it is the usual. Get the focus back in. There we go. A couple of windows that were in the bulk mix, so I'm going to grab those, of course. Train wheel, interesting sword thing. Let's see if I can find anything that I got specifically for Greengrocer. Not sure that I had as much of a focus at this store, because the store that I went to first, that I'll be covering soon, there was a little bit more to choose from there. Okay, here's a couple roof slopes, and the Greengrocer does require this piece. It's also something that I've used in a virtual build, digital build, that barn. And if I do want to build that barn someday, I'm going to need quite a few of these. Currently, I think most of my slopes of this size are tied up in the Mediterranean Market Street. I did use this size on the roof there. I'd actually like to change that roof a little bit and do some modifications, see if I can free some of these up for Greengrocer, and also look at breaking that a little bit away from the regular Market Street. Just found another one here. I also grabbed some of the taller roof slopes. I used up quite a few of these in the tan townhouse, so just to kind of replenish that stack. Had a little bit more luck with this size, 6 or more of those here. Whenever I can find a 2x2 dark bluish gray tile, it is a good day. Going to be needing a lot of these if I want to keep the modular standard for the sidewalks. And there's not really a rule that if you're doing a mock you need to do that, but I think it helps with uniformity, keeping everything on the same page. And you can also help break that up if you do different patterns, but I think there's got to be a balance of, that's kind of what's been established with the official modulars. You don't want to stray too far from that. This particular slope here is an interesting fellow. I did make a modification to Greengrocer that requires 2 of these, and I have 2 of them already, but it's something that I grab whenever I see it because it is a retired part, and I feel like I haven't necessarily explored the full potential of what the studs at that angle could do for a build. I know there's been in some of the books that have been published over the years, there was a train station that used these for the roof, so that's kind of the obvious application, is to put a plate roof on a build with these, but I think there's definitely more to explore there. Otherwise, pretty heavy with the slopes. Definitely a lot of those in different colors and sizes throughout. And looking at some bricks as well. Some of these smaller sizes, like 1x2, 1x3, and 1x4. A couple of these dark greens, like these 1x2s. Pieces that I have enough of to do Greengrocer, but again, as I use those up in projects, I want to be sure I'm not really running myself out of them and just keeping things stocked in my collection. Another tile there, that's nice. Here's a pretty recent part. This is the Speed Champions combination wheel, and I believe this is what's known as a co-molded element, where it does have slightly different materials. The rubber piece is kind of a rubber plastic. The center is a regular plastic, but it's produced such that it's not really something that you assemble yourself like most Lego tires. It actually comes this way from the factory, so you don't take it apart, but it is 2 different materials. It's kind of nice. I think it probably costs more to produce those like that, but Speed Champions as a line has been doing pretty good, so I think they get a little bit more sway in what pieces they're making now. Anything else worthy of note? I'll show you this guy. This is the 4x6 wedge plate. Again, kind of a newer size wedge plate. I haven't had a lot of luck finding both sides of these in the bulk. I can find usually a couple copies of one side but not the other, or both sides in different colors. But probably what's going to happen is, as I acquire these and start to fiddle with them and see what potential is here, just having them on hand is going to help with that, not necessarily having both sides in the same color. And then if I do get them into a build where I like to build with parts in hand and not necessarily do as much on the digital side, once I know what I'm looking for, I can just go to Bricklink for these guys. But the key here is getting some of these in the bulk a little bit cheaper, so that'll be good. A couple textured bricks, the 1x2 with the masonry pattern on there. I'm always going to pick that up in bulk. Pretty cost effective to do that. So yeah, almost 400 pieces from this Bricks and Minifigs. Not a terrible selection. I've seen bigger, I've seen smaller, and it isn't terribly picked over either when I was in there. I think they do replenish that somewhat often, so there's some good variety, and just when things are restocked and replaced, seems like it's keeping up pretty good. Might not have as much luck finding the pairs of things in the bulk. They probably would have like multiple copies of wheel arches as standalone items that you could purchase. But if you're going to the bulk and hoping to find 4 copies of a wheel arch to build a car, might be out of luck there. That's one of those things where you kind of have to just grab a few here, 1 or 2 there, in different colors, and over the years you'll probably build up a pretty good stock of different colors and sizes, but getting them all in one go is not as easy. So keep that in mind. That's kind of what I've ended up doing as I go to these stores over the years, and it's working out pretty good because I've got quite a few now. I just need to start building with them at this point. So that is the Louisville Bricks and Minifigs haul. Got a little look inside the store there, and significant copies of that roof slope for Greengrocer, but did not have as much as I would have liked to see, specifically the skeleton legs and some sand green 1x1 and 1x3. There were a couple of 1x1s here, but I'm going to need pretty good amount, possibly going to Bricklink for those. We'll have to see after I get my picking started from the main collection. Yeah, a couple things, but still a few things to find for Project Greengrocer coming up. The rest of it, good stuff to have on hand, good stuff to find in bulk, and stuff that I would recommend keeping an eye out for. But again, everyone's going to be collecting a little bit different, so that's my approach. Happy to share it with you guys, and we'll see you next time on Brick System Brothers.